Good morning, Red Mountain. My name is Amar, and I am here with your club preview part 2 for October 27th, 2023. Let's start off with your Pledge of Allegiance and your 60 seconds of silence.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To start off this club preview, let's start cracking with FFA.
My name is Faith Kent. I've been in FFA for all 4 years of high school.
Hi, my name is Faith Curran. I have been in since my sophomore year, so I'm a senior now since like 2 years.
So I am the Red Mountain FFA reporter. So I handle all the socials, I make the slideshows for the meetings, and I take pictures of what goes on.
I'm in the FFA club and I'm the vice president, and so I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, and I also am kind of the enforcer, so if things are getting out of hand, I come in as the backup.
My favorite part is the friends I've made, and it's just a really nice community, and it's also really fun to be able to do fun competitions, learn about new things, and be able to have your own animal.
Honestly, the best thing about FFA has been all of the experiences that you get to go through. I've done the vet science competitions and I've learned so much, and it's gotten me more used to animals, it's gotten me familiar with animals, and then also raising an animal yourself is a really good experience, and I've already learned a ton for just a little over a month of having an animal.
Great video, FFA. Now let's move it with Mountain Movers.
So Mountain Movers is really just about building friendships between our students and then seeing our students get to interact with, other students that they don't see every day, play games, build friendships. We really see them so happy and they're excited to do it. They're excited to meet new people, and it's just a lot of fun and a lot of excitement.
For me, it teaches my students compassion and understanding, and helps them understand how to interact with those that maybe aren't the same as they are.
Awesome video, Mountain Movers. Now let's roll a D20 with Dungeons and Dragons.
So D&D is a tabletop role-playing game. It's a tabletop role-playing game. It's essentially the players will sit down and the DM will go along and will essentially guide the players through a story that they are also helping make at the same time. Like, it's very different to actually writing a story or even reading a story, because you're part of the creation of the story along with a group of like of designers.
It's like playing a video game without it being a video game. It's fun.
D&D's super fun because it's pure chaos, and you can pretend anything you want. You can throw grass at a wall and it'll explode and no one notices. You could be in a maid costume for all I care. You could do anything that's possible. Like, it's amazing.
Great video, Dungeons and Dragons, and now let's game on with esports.
So, I specifically play for the Smash team at esports, and the community itself has always been somewhat, I'm going to use the word toxic here, and I mean, it hasn't really ruined it, actively playing it competitively to some degree. I mean, there's always going to be that toxic group of people who are going to get mad, petition people to ban characters, but in my personal opinion, playing this game competitively has not really changed anything about it.
Honestly, what got me interested was I've been around gaming my whole life. I essentially watched competitive multiplayer games grow. I've been in the community not just for Smash Bros, but for speedrunning and stuff like that, and it's been pretty fun watching it.
Great video, esports. Now, let's look at our student spaceflight experiment project videos.
So why are we here today? Well, today is our kickoff for our SSAP, which is the Student Spaceflight Experiment Project. Teachers and principals and instructional coaches have been working for about 6 months on preparing to get the kids ready for essentially launch into this project. The project was established by the SSEP as a rigorous way to get students involved in a real experiment that they would then be tested on the International Space Station. Honeywell is what we call our industry partner in this project. Honeywell is a multi-billion-dollar international company that has a great, impressive portfolio that deals with everything from flight here on our planet to flight of satellites, and including a long history putting products into space around the International Space Station. And today they're going to help us kick off with our students this idea that a group of kids, a group of students here at Red Mountain and the Red Mountain Feeder Pattern could work together to create an experiment worthy of going and being tested on the International Space Station. So in total, there's about 800 students that are participating in this project. So we're gonna start this project off with our elementary students, and they're gonna act as our chief investigators, our scientists. They're gonna go through that act of getting deeply situated into microgravity and all the things you can test in that. And out of that situation, they're going to then pose a testable question with a rationale, and that question is gonna go to our content specialists. In our world, that's our 3rd and 4th year STEM students in biomed and engineering. They're going to gather that question, look at the rationale, and determine if they can create an experimental design around it. At the same time, our 9th graders in Miss Williams's class is going to start the technical writing of this. So instead of taking a group of 5 kids to do all these things, we're taking a group of 12 kids from different campuses in different parts of their journey throughout our feeder pattern here at Red Mountain and giving them very important tasks to help create this one big project. we have all the conditions necessary. We have the teachers, we have the administration, we have the technical support. And then the last ingredient is we've got some great kids. We've got amazing students working all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade through engaging STEM education. And if those all come together, then you throw in Honeywell, like mentorship through the entire process. These are all the conditions you need for success. This is going to be an amazing story. We're going from the classroom to the International Space Station.
Welcome to stage 2 of the SSEP project, where elementary students work on their question and their rationale with Honeywell.
Our role at the elementary level is to come up with a testable, researchable question and the rationale, the reason why we think that question would be valid and would be something that would be relevant to the space program.
They've got to take something up into space that would either improve life on Earth or improve life in space for our astronauts to help them stay longer.
So it's really kind of a cool thing that the kids have to kind of understand what's going on planet Earth and then try and figure out how we can translate that into a microgravity environment and see how things work on the ISS.
And it has to fit within the confines of this tiny little mini lab. So kids are having to be creative to come up with questions that would be able to fit within the constraints of this.
Random stuff that nobody knows what it is.
A couple examples of the projects that they're working on behind me right now. One of them is addressing whether aloe vera can be able to help astronauts with sunburns that they may get up in space. Or I have another group that's working on a project that they're trying to address how do we sustain life in space? How do we make sure that the astronauts can be able to eat something if they're on a long space journey? And what plants are best suited for that? And what can they do to be able to help grow those plants and make that happen?
I've had to research a lot, and right now we're doing questions about soil moisture tension. That's what we're basing our question on. So we're seeing if that same thing will work in microgravity, because if it does, it will be great for colonizing planets like Mars or like the moon of Jupiter or whatever.
The things that they're curious about, a lot of it is something along the lines of, we want to see how a tomato plant grows in space. And it's up to us as Honeywell engineers, Honeywell staff, to make them think about why it's important to grow a tomato in space. So we want to have them question the application of what they're doing and why it's important. I think that's really the focus of what this partnership is about, is to get them to think why they're interested in the thing that they're thinking about and how it can be used for the greater good.
That's what Science Inquirer is all about, asking the questions about why do things do what they do in the real world. And problem solving is what science is all about. And inquiry-based, like I said, that's the beauty of science. That's one reason that I love science, because everything we look at in the world has a science base to it.
Right now when we take a test, it's only a test. So the soil motion.
That's the guy here. I know he will take that part out.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome videos, everyone. Those are all of your videos for your club's preview part 2. Have a great day, Red Mountain.